So it goes way back to when I was about 6 years old in a small town in Connecticut. Just kidding. So I've always been in a technical background. Uh, my father was in construction, machine shop. He owned a swimming pool company. That's how I ended up getting into the swimming pool industry, which I've been in for nearly 30 years. And it was about 10 years ago. I originally went to school at UConn and I had a degree in biology. Never been a biologist. I've been in retail and sales, but that was the first part of my life. So I went back to school for software development and mobile development. And I got to the point where I learned 9 computer languages and I was most, uh, I guess, friendly with Apple and iPhone and a language called Objective C and Swift. And my minor kind of, well, my the major part that I did was I was an applications developer. So I made applications. I was going through school still when I was doing that. And throughout the 5 years or so that I did it, I worked along with companies like Family Dollar, Bank of America, Ally Bank, and the one I'm most proud of is BMW. Actually helped work on part of their BMW application for service. And it's it was fun. There's a lot of stress involved in it too because you have a lot of deadlines and project management. But when I went to school, I went through graphic design and Photoshop and Illustrator and all of these user interface and user experience programs and classes. So I loved all of it. I loved how everything worked. And I got a passion for it. I loved it. So after a while, being a new guy in the block, there were a lot of developers out there. Took about a year, didn't land a job, and I ended up going back to the pool industry. I went back with a pool builder in South Carolina, and I've been in the pool industry ever since. So, so fast forward a little bit. Once I got into uh, marketing, I got into affiliate marketing, and then I got into social media marketing. And first time I remember I had to make content, I was scared like you wouldn't believe. I was like, I can't do that. There's no way. I'm not doing it. And then one day I was feeling brave and I'm like, you know what? I can do that. So I scripted this like 2 minute speech and I went through like what I was going to do and basically walk and talk. And I had a week off of work. This was in November, a couple years ago, and went through, I videoed it, and I don't even know what setting it was on my phone. I probably took like 47 takes, and basically I tried to memorize the entire thing. And I walked laps around my yard as I said it, and I stopped and I deleted and I recorded again, and then I stopped and I deleted and I recorded again and over until I got what I was finally happy with. Then I got it into TikTok and captions. Oh, how do I do this thing? And what's that? And what's that? And what's that? And wow, this is like so foreign to me. So obviously, we warm up to it, got used to it. And after about, I would say, 6 to 8 months, I started getting people messaging me saying, and your content's great. Like what software do you use? What app do you use? Do you do it yourself? Do you have somebody do it? Like, yeah, I do it. And the whole time I'm like, what is it about it? But I never asked the question, what do you like about my content? So if you ever have anybody compliment you on what you're doing or talk about your process in a positive way, ask questions. Ask what they like about it. You know, what made you do that? What made you get into that? How did you do this? And just ask whatever questions you can because it helps. So a few months went by and said, all right, well, they like my videos. What do they like about it? And come to find out, it was the transitions and it was the captions and it was the picture, but also it was the way that I spoke, the way I carried myself, and it was just I seemed to have a natural ability to talk in front of the camera. And I'm no movie star. I was in my senior class play in high school. I was actually in show choir, so I used to, jazz hands and all that, singing and dancing. And back in high school, I can't carry a note for anything now. I'm fine with that. But I've been in those situations, where I've talked to people, obviously sales and everything too. So I kind of narrowed it down, and then about a year ago, I decided that I like this video thing. Everybody seems to think I'm pretty good at it, and I think it's what I should kind of follow through on. So I dove in and I got a program. I got uh, what do you call it? A couple courses, and I went through and I started eating up one after another. And I started learning all these different things, learning special effects, learning CapCut, Adobe, DaVinci, some other ones, but CapCut was the one that I found the easiest. It had the most available and it was the easiest. Now I've had the pro plan for about a year and a half. I was locked in and I think I was paying like $7.99 a month for a while. And then just recently I signed up like $50 for the year because I use it daily and it's one of my biggest tools. So I'm you know, not gonna leave it anytime soon. So it does have its limitations. In the circle that I'm in with videographers and all, there is some exceptional people out there. There's people that are doing content for BMW and Mercedes and Red Bull and things that I look at and I'm just like my jaw drops and I'm like, wow, just what they're doing is amazing. So I have something that I get to strive for, which is great. So that's what brings me here. I dove in, I kind of backed off of my marketing. I did a lot of training, enough so where I got to the point I said, all right, I'm doing nothing but training and I'm practicing and all that. I got to put this stuff to work. So I got in and basically hit it head on. And this is probably about 6 months ago. Kept working at it and working at it until here we are today. So the more you do, the easier it gets, the better you understand it. And I think if you just have somebody there or other people there to talk about it, then it's much easier. So having this community that I have has kind of been the place that I wish I had when I was a year and a half ago. So that's kind of what brings me to being here and wanting to share all of this with you. So let's see.